I just wanted to walk through creating an experience site, which used to be known as community, from within the Remedyforce org. You can see I'm in my setup here in my Remedyforce org. And if I type in experience up here in the quick search, I can go to all sites. I have a few sites I've done in the past, but we're going to go ahead and start with a new one. Now, basically, what this is setting up a new self-service site. It does not replace the Remedyforce self-service portal that is still available. This is just an alternate one. You can give different kinds of permissions to it. So if you can have certain people use this one, certain people use the original one, however you want to do that. And we'll look at some of that when we get to administration. But I would recommend doing this in a sandbox first, of course. But let's go ahead and start. So I hit new, and I'm coming up with these various themes here. I like this Help Center theme. I like to start there, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that one. And I'm going to go ahead and name it, I guess, Help Desk 4, because I'm very original. And I'm going to go ahead and put it here as well, because that's the URL people will use to access it when they go ahead and start using it as a self-service portal. I'm going to click on Create. This does take a few, maybe a minute, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording. We'll be back as soon as it's done. Okay, it has created my site, and so now I can start working with it. Now, I'm fairly new to Experience myself, so I'm really just going to hit Builder and Administration. Not sure what these other ones do yet. Let me go into Builder. And it's going to come up with that template that I initially put in. Now, here's where we can start having fun. And honestly, I would say in your sandbox, play around, or in your production org, if you're brave, play around. But we start off with these components up in the top left. And BMC has specifically created some components to use in the experience. There are more coming out with the version in August 2021, but we're going to use these for now. I'm going to start with, I'm going to want my Submit a Ticket widget. I do want to submit tickets from here. And I'm going to want my Service Catalog widget. And get it in the right place. Got to get in the right place to get it to stick. Got Service Catalog. I'm going to scroll down a bit, because the next thing I want is to be able to view my request and put that in below there. Okay, so already I've got a page that has Submit a Ticket, Service Catalog, and my request. Woohoo! Nice things going on here. I don't like this brown. Now, as I found out working around on this, I admit I've done some poking and picking. To change the color on the Submit Ticket bar, I come over here to the second icon, which is my theme. This is where I could change the theme if I didn't like the one I chose. But I'm going to modify it instead. I'm going to go to Colors, and that's an action color on the Submit a Ticket. So I'm going to go ahead and make it blue. Woot! I got blue. I'm obviously not Capricorn Coffee, so I think this is where I also can go ahead and do an image and upload my company logo, in this case, Right Star powered by Extivia logo. And let me go to my logos folder and do search for it. And let me bring up that one. And I'm going to use that for my image for my company logo. Good, doing good so far. I'm not really thrilled with this background, so I can go ahead and change that. And then I can do some layout stuff. Let me find my right. Some of this is clicking in the right place in terms of being able to change things and change the layout and whatnot. So sometimes I'm still getting used to this, and I need to click in the right place. Somewhere around here is where I can change my background color and get rid of this particular image. And we'll find it as we click around a bit here. Okay. Come over here, change the colors here and see what happens. That's doing something out there. Again, I would just kind of keep playing around, picking the different colors. There we go. Now we got some blue here. blue going around that image. We got that one there. I know there's a place where we can center it. We may find out as we go along. And again, I've been playing with this. I won't say I'm an expert, but we go ahead and keep playing around. So I don't really like that orange either. So I'm going to go ahead and come here. That's the button background color. I could add a darker blue. Get that in. Actually, darker blue doesn't work well against that particular background. We'll make it a lighter blue. So you can start seeing you can do a lot of things out here in terms of what you're showing. The title text is what can we help you with? I could change that right here if I wanted to and do the things I want to do. Okay, so I've done a few of these things here. Let me go ahead and click off that, exit out of it, and move on and do some other things. I'm going to come down here to my service catalog, and I'm going to hit this particular icon here next to the trash can. And you see here that you have category and number of rows. Number of rows controls how many service catalog items we see here. Category says that I could go ahead and have different boxes for different categories of my service catalog. Very similar to the categorization we see on the standard Remedyforce end user portal. But in this case, I can go ahead and, maybe if I don't want them as one big box, I could go ahead and have a section of 3 boxes as content, sidebar, sidebar, that kind of thing. I could have them next to each other and do it that way instead. I like having them all visible, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that and leave category as none. So I'm feeling pretty good about this so far, but I know that when I do this search, it's not actually going to search my Remedyforce objects. I'm going to come up here, top left to my home button, and hit on search. I'm going to get to my search window here. Still has a different kind of background, so we're going to go ahead and make that blue. I'm just going blue all the way today. And what I'm going to do is in the content, global search results, see how it's coming up with this knowledge article version. I'm going to change that to incidents because that's one of the things I'd want to search. Whoops, did land endpoints instead. I'll save that. I'm going to add in my knowledge articles. Save that as well. Those are the Remedyforce ones. Maybe I also want to go ahead and do my CMDB, which would be base elements. Maybe I want my knowledge article first, then my incidents in the base elements. And so now I've configured my search page very quickly to go ahead and search those 3 items. Could add and change requests, other things as well. I'll go back to my search and go back to home and back to where I was before. Okay, one of the other things I want to do, actually, let me go ahead and preview this. And it looks pretty much like what we saw in Builder. No big deal, but I did want to show you the preview. And again, that URL that you did initially is what you would use once this is published and somebody's accessing it. So again, I can come here. I can look at various things on my themes. I can look at the general. This was images. Let me get out of images. Theme settings. Got various stuff here. All I would say is play with it. See what you're doing. Try different things. You can hit here for the page structure, how things are set up here. Then there are some things in settings that you may want to look at as well. In general, well, you can see my site title. You could change that if you wanted to. I'm going to say can't have public access to site. I should mention Experience is available to people who are using Remedyforce with internal users. The licensing is included. If you are using Experience with external users, you do need to buy community experience licenses from Salesforce. But if you're using this with internal, the licensing is included. I should have mentioned that up front. Here's my theme. I could change it if I wanted to. Languages, navigation, yada, yada. And I want to go to, I think, secure. Where did I want to go to? Was it advanced? Can't remember now. I think it was mainly that public thing I wanted to change in here. So just know as you go through, make sure you disable the public access. I'm now going to hit this button in the top left. And this, I'm going to go to my administration. I mentioned at the beginning I've done Builder and Administration. I want to show a couple of things in Administration as well. One of the things I want to show is under Emails. You can send a welcome email when you activate this site. I'm going to turn that off because I don't want to do that to my users in my demo site. I don't need that flood of emails. But if I had that checked, I get emails when I activated this. You can see here, this is where I go to activate it. And then members, before I activate it, here are all the profiles and permission sets that are going to be able to see this particular setup. Go ahead and add them over. And I can take default role. So that's no biggie. So those are all ways you can go ahead and set it. The other thing I want to mention that's important on here, the other thing I want to mention is important administration. So obviously you need to activate it. That's important. Before you activate it, you might want to turn off the send welcome email button. The other thing is in login and registration. If you're using this internal employees, you want to click this. If you don't click this, when they go to log in, they're going to be shown a login page, but they actually have to click another link to actually log in. It's very confusing, so check this box. Lots of other things you can do here around the logging. If you want a different file to show on the login page, you just have to make that particular, I think I built one out here for Experience. If I can find it. I think that's the one I wanted. Let's see if I've got the right size here. So you can go ahead and put a logo out there, and that'll show up on the login thing. Let's go ahead and save. I'm going to make sure that email thing's saved. Nope, let's go ahead and do that and save it. Make sure my members, I haven't been hitting save along the way. Now I forget which sites you need to hit save as you go and which sites you don't. Of course, I don't have to do all of these, but it's just easier for me right now. If I just do everything, go ahead and save those. And then finally, let's go ahead and activate it. Put it OK. And this will be available for all those selected profiles and permission sets. I'm going to go ahead and go back to Builder. Again, if you want to do other things, there's ways to get rid of this logo, even though I'm not fighting it right now. There are ways to do that as well. I think you can upload another image if you wanted to. If I wanted to, I don't know, let me go ahead and find another Extivia one. Maybe the BMC Elite Partner one. See how that one looks. That doesn't look very good, but I could have done that if I wanted to. And now let's just, I'm not trying to get rid of that. We'll upload another one. I don't know. We'll just leave it for now. I'll play around with it later. I don't want to scale to fill. Let's do a tile, image position center, and we'll go ahead and do that image overlay color again. Lots of things you can do here and play with as you go through this. And I've been missing this big clear button here. I'm going to go ahead and clear that and get rid of that. And great, we have no colors in the background. We'll keep playing. So I've done wonders with this site. I'm sure you're all going to hire me to do yours right away. But again, you'll keep playing with this and you'll be able to clear this out. I'm pretty sure we can make this text font different. And there we go, the title text color. Make it nice and clear. Okay, so we've got this. No color right now, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and publish this. And once it's published, then those people that I gave permissions to it are going to be able to access it. So I don't really like this fully white thing, but we'll go ahead and look at a couple things in just a minute of things where I did it, I think, a little bit better. Okay, I'm back in setup now. And here's my URL that I can get to my end users to go ahead and log in. Let's see how that looks when we go there. I'm going to go ahead and log into that help desk. See what things are going on here. We got our blue back, so that's good. If I go ahead and search here, search in billing, we're going to go ahead and see those search results, like I mentioned before. So pretty easy to go ahead and build that site, get these results out, and see what kinds of things are going on. A little bit of a lag when I go ahead and give everybody permissions to it. It'll be a little bit before everybody can access it, but this is basically what it looks like when you go ahead. And again, you can use these URLs here and go to different ones. And one might have been actually one I did before. Let me go ahead and open the help desk 4, I think is the one we just did. That's why we had the blue. Last time I got the blue going. This is the one we just did. What can we help you with all the white in the background? Um, Again, just like on the last one, I could go ahead and do billing. That's okay. Now you saw two different kinds of experience sites with two different kinds of logos and branding. And again, you can have multiple sites going. So that's good. We wanted to have you show you a couple anyway. I just hit my help desk 3 first, and then I want to do my help desk 4. And if I want to hit, I don't know, this one's, I think this was my original one. I think it's pretty blue, but we'll see what it looks like. Oh, it's a lighter blue. Got my logo centered. I type in billing here. So the one I did first, I put a little more time into it. Come into here. I have my home button here. So I can go ahead and go back to the home page. So that's a sample of just a few different, not hugely different, but mildly different sites. A lot of things you can do here. So I'm pretty excited because I think for customers who may be looking for a different kind of self-service experience, this might be a way to go. Thank you.